Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Lord of the Rings Online SLOTRO edition. This is Gnarlo. Say hello to everyone, Gnarlo. Good girl. When last we left off, we had just traveled up here to Thrasi's lodge. We had been spending some time further to the west, actually. I'm going to say north, but it's actually to the west over there, where we were in Gondomar. We were working our way through the prologue. In fact, we had gotten back to the prologue and had completed most of the side quest here in the Arid Lewine, both on down in Falathlorn and up here in Thorin's Vale. So we are going to talk to Langlis now. I'm going to pull up, let's see, Arid Lewine now is found. Which one is that? That's the sword in the third gear. We're not ready to find the third gear yet. The third gear is stuck over here in some barrows, undead barrows, way over there against that ridge. You can see kind of the cliffside there to our north. Pull it up. That's the cliffside we're seeing right up yonder, and it's up in this area, in these undead barrows, is where the third gear to the puzzle lock can be found. You can see we're right here at Thrasi's lodge, just on the verge in between the Hothlin and the Falathlorn there, right on the edge of the lowlands. So we are going to go up here. We are going to talk to, we have a letter, or actually we need to talk to Langlis, because we've got the news about the elf prince Averthal being held by the goblins and the Dour Hands in order to try and start a war between the dwarves to the north and the elves to the south here. So we need to talk to him. They were saying we need a neutral party that both sides will trust. And isn't it a wonderful, beautiful snow coming down? I actually love it. We also need to bring him his sword. Remember, we've had this long, ongoing sword battle, sword quest going on with the two brothers, one of which is wanting to stay in Middle Earth and continue to try and right the wrongs and cure the evils of the land, and the other one who wishes to go back into the west aboard the ships. And we went and we found the sword there in the, I think in Ringrest maybe, one of the elven ruins. We found the sword, and we need to bring it to Langlis in memory of the Dunedain Ranger who the two brothers fought with long ago, and whose sword was left on the I guess cairn of stones there inside the ruin, as a tribute. So we're bringing it back to Langlis. We are going to go ahead and finish that one. The now is found. Yes, we do have our leveling turned back off because we're just about to pop up to level 11, so we got right to the edge of level 10. Let us go ahead and reread this. Broken sword. An old and broken sword you pulled from the slopes near the old elven ruin of Dal Ringrest. So it was Ringwest. Let's look at the history. I did not think that the sight of this blade would move me so. This belonged to a friend of ours, a Dunedain named Thoram. He died helping us defend Dol Ringwest many long years ago. We buried him and built a cairn where he fell in honor of his sacrifice. Perhaps Thorin is right. There are many harsh memories here. In the West, we would be free of such pain. His sword deserves a better home, away from the goblins that loot the dead. Bring it to Langlis at Thrasi's lodge, north of here along the road, and west of Keledul. He is a ranger of the north and will keep the history of his kinsmen. I will send word to my brother. Okay, so we're going to talk to Langlis. The now is found.
What can I do for you?
Greetings, good elf. Bregar sent this, did he? I have heard the story of Thoram and will honor his memory. The recovery of Thoram's sword must have arisen for Toron and Bregar's debate. It has long been a concern of mine that they might leave Middle-earth during these dangerous times. Give this to Bregar with my thanks. It will prove useful in convincing his brother to remain. So we are going to bring a scroll to Bregar at Dualon. Let's see, did we actually get The Lay of Nimrodel, a copy of the poem The Lay of Nimrodel, given to you by Langlis, a Dunedain from the Thrasi's Lodge, from the Hunter's Hut. All right, back then it was called the Hunter's Hut. It didn't actually have a name, and it also did not have a stable master back in the day whenever I used to play here. But what are you going to do? That's just the way it goes. Now, we don't actually have a copy of the lay here, do we? No, it does not look that way. Yeah, I guess if you want a copy of the Lay of Nimrodel, I think I have to take a look. As part of it, I think, is the story of Nimrodel in the Lord of the Rings, perhaps? I know the story is. Whether or not actually Legolas sings the lay or not, I'm not sure. Anywho, we've got that taken care of, so we're going to need to go back and visit Bregar at some point back down here in Dualon. We may do that by the end of this episode, but in the meantime, let's talk to Langless about the mutual dislike. And we'll go ahead. He is at the Hunter's Lodge. To avoid the appearance of allegiance between the Longbeards and the Dour Hands, Matthew Stouthand has suggested recruiting a neutral party to conduct the rescue of Averthal. So we'll see the history. Your people wouldn't understand the difference between Durin's folk and the Dour Hands. If my dwarves attempt to rescue the Elf Prince and fail, you elves might assume that we and the Dour Hands are in league. Then what? War between the dwarves and the elves? No, that cannot be allowed to happen. What we need is someone trusted by elves and dwarves alike to this attempt. There is a man, a ranger out of the wilds in the east, who has assisted both of our kindreds at sundry times. He is masterful in the art of hunting and stealth. Seek the ranger Langless at the Hunter's Lodge to the east of here. I will only hope he will accept this responsibility. Let's see whether he will or not. Mutual dislike.
Greetings.
Elves and dwarves living as neighbors in the arid Luween is worse than keeping a lynx kitten and a wolf pup in the same house, and I hope you don't take offense at my saying so. In the interest of maintaining peace in arid Luween, I will respect Matthew Stouthand's wishes and arrange for the rescue of Averthal. I do not want to bear the burden of our rescue ending in failure, but a ranger does not have the luxury of refusing charges such as this one. If I were to refuse, Averthal's life would be forfeit, and so too would be peace in arid Luween. I will organize the attempt if you will help me.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Prologue to avert a war. Rumor of Averthal's capture has come to me. Matthie's fears have merit. The elves of Dualon remember the treachery of Skorgrim Dourhand 600 years ago, and do not easily recognize the difference between dwarves. The short reign of Thrain and his son Thorin in arid Luween was marked by a grudging peace only because their folk kept to themselves and did not trouble the elves. Very well. I will help you to rescue Averthal and hopefully avert a war. In these darkening times, strife between the enemies of Mordor can only serve to aid the Dark Lord. This rescue will not be easy. Return to me when you are ready to depart for the Dourhand camp. So at that point, we return to talk to Langless and rescue Averthal. So that one is set up and ready to go there. Let's look at a few of the other quests here at the... look at the other quest here at the... at Thrasi's Lodge. In fact, let's run around the back of Thrasi's Lodge. I don't know if I've ever been back around here that often. It has been a very long time since I did, if I did. Hey, I was wondering if I could do that. Cool. And Thrasi's going, get the hell off my roof. Alrighty. Most of the folk here are a good sort, even if they tend to spin a tall tale from time to time. Okay, so that's the lodge, the Hunter's Lodge here. I have no idea if you used to be able to go inside it or not, whether like Langless was inside or anything like that. I know Thrasi was always outside. He's always been here next to his lynx mother. Let's see about these quests. Excuse me. Celerant, what do you have for us?
I don't know if you can help me.
A remarkable bow. An elf named Pinglir gave me this beautiful bow, but I've gone and lost it. Or more to the point, it was stolen from me. The rangers make a point to stay out of the feud between the Longbeards and the Dourhands, so I was not expecting to be waylaid by brigands out of Kelidul. They overpowered me as I was looking for a good place to practice outside the town, and stole Pinglir's bow. The dwarves and Starkath, the leader, skulked near the walls of Kelidul. I know I wasn't worthy to deserve such a rich gift. I'm a failure, an embarrassment to Langlis and to the Rangers. So hapless am I that I dare not find Starcliffe. Can you go forth and take the bow back from him? Sure, we'll take that. Remarkable bow. Keladul is this basically city. It's a city or a port here on the River Loon that is still ran. It's just like Sarner over here, the little city of Sarner and Dungeon. It's still ran and maintained by the Dour Hands. These two are pretty much their main sources of power here in the Arid Luine. And in fact, until Sarner's you got Sarner, the outside part of Sarner here has always been around. The kind of goblin and dour hand kind of city here, but the dungeon came in a later, the actual Sarner dungeon came in a later update, I believe. I'll throw it up here if I can find it, throw it across the bottom here. So back then, when I first played through here with my dwarf the many moons ago, Keladul was the only real outpost of the Dour Hands that still existed. So we will take that quest. Let's talk to Thrasi as well and see what Thrasi has to say. His stuff involved the Lynx mother here and her kittens.
Welcome. You've come at a most fortuitous time.
The cat's Meow. What happened to me? I was out hunting bear and I came across this mother lynx and her cubs. The poor thing was tore up mightily by some Hindravale, and I was just able to grab her before they went after me. I twisted my ankle something terrible, but it'll heal, as will this old she-cat. She left a litter behind her, but we're both too battered to save the cubs ourselves. I'd feel awful if something happened to them, but I'm no use to anyone until my ankle mends. Perhaps you can venture up to the den by the standing stones to the north, and bring back any of the surviving cubs. I'd appreciate it, and I'm sure the mother would as well. Okay, venture to the den by the standing stones to the north. That is going to be up this way, so we will go ahead and do the cat's Meow. I am thinking that it should be directly across the road here, really. Yeah, right there by these standing stones. Like I said, my brother Keebs and I remember us hunting Hindravale and all around these stones and this hill here for a good long while. Let's pull up Stacks. How are you doing, sweetie? There we go. Remember us hunting Hindravale and stuff around these stones for quite a while. And we've gotten one of those things. There we go. I say got one of those things where it locks up as the terrain isn't really loading. The game kind of freezes for a moment. All right. So we are going to go on up this way. And it's just a little further back off in there is where we ran into that, like I said, signature spider who kicked our butts. And that's whenever I knew I loved this game. Whenever I came across a spider that looked like it should be easy pickings, and it kicked our butts. Of course, other than the nemesis, you don't really run into that anymore. As I've said, I think in the last episode, I'm so happy to see the nemesis come back. And the fact that, once again, there are places... And now we're locking up again. Come on, why aren't you moving? Is it something that's locking me? Oh, no, that's the halted experience. Wonder if they're casting. I'll take a look at that damage there. There's an abandoned den. I'll take a look at that damage there whenever it hits us again. And see if that's something that keeps us from moving. Or if we're just having trouble with the terrain change there. Let's go to the abandoned den. Nope. Alright, 2. There we go. Hit it with a stick. Good. I don't know what that was. And dead before I can hit it with a stick. Okay. Abandoned Den. I was thinking that maybe this is where the... search the abandoned bear den. Ah, there we go. Click on the outside. You peer inside the abandoned bear den and hear the plaintive mewing of a hungry, frightened lynx cub. The poor thing is scared to leave the safety of the den, fearing attack by Hindravale. So we need to kill 6 more Hindravel. Alright. That won't be a problem. Let's start blasting away at them. Hit them with a stick. There we go. Where's some more? I'm kind of assuming. I mean, it seems like there ought to be more of... What the heck was that? Oh, there we go. Lynx cub. So, is that the lynx cub? Guess we got to kill... Whoops, let's not take on the bear there. We're not going to get anything for it. So, boom. Shouldn't aggro the bear, I don't think. So, we're going to have more of the lynx cubs come out. A new title has been bestowed upon you. You may be known as Narwhal, Feather Foe. We've completed Hindravel Slayer. All right. And now got Hindravel Advanced. We'll have to take a look at that as well. Another deed out of the way here. And one more. We have any more links come out? Don't want to wander too far away because I would like to see them wander out. Like that other one did there. Too far away. Here we go. Any more going to come out here? That was 6 of 6. Collect the cat links. Oh, there we go. So let us right-click on the bear den again. With soothing words, you manage to coax the frightened cub from the safety of its den. Very cool. All right. Now, indeed we did. There he is. Collected the lynx cub as he came out. I wonder, you know, it came out that first time. Wonder if it's because we had already killed 3 of them. Not getting credit, but we had already killed about 3 of them there. And so it was kind of throwing the counter for the lynx off. That might be it. Now, do we actually have a link? Do we actually have a lynx cub in our inventory? Yeah, lynx cub. A cute little lynx cub. Aww. Who's got a cute little paw? You do. You do. Alrighty. Let's go back to Thrasi here. Get the lynx cub back to its mother.
I am at your service.
Oh, there's a precious cub. Let me take him from you and... Ow! Quit your scratching. He's a feisty one, isn't he? Or is it a she? Poor little thing. Too bad its litter mates didn't fare so well, but that's the way of things. Nipping my beard now. Perhaps the wee thing is hungry? Perhaps
Greetings,
it is.
traveler. Will you stay a moment?
Hungry mouths to feed. The cub is hungry, but is too young to hunt his own food. His mother's still all scratched up and in no position to hunt either. Let's see, the only meat I have here at the lodge is either dried or smoked. I think they could both use some fresh, raw meat. Could I ask you for another favor? I wonder if you can find a rabbit carcass for them to eat. If you have trouble hunting a live rabbit, I have a string of rabbit traps scattered in the woods, not far to the east and west of the lodge. I'd appreciate if you could check the traps and bring back a plump rabbit. I'd hate to see mother and cub go without food. All right, find a rabbit carcass. I have no problem hunting live rabbits, but other than the fact it never seems to let me. I've tried. I have tried. All right, east and west. So that would be this way. If I see a live rabbit, I'll certainly blast them. But let's see if we can find that string of traps he says he has. Cliff Hindraval's. There we go. There's a trap. Anything there? A trap set for small game. The trap is empty. Alright, let's zoom out a little bit so we can... There we go. Ooh, looks like we need to take on that dour hand. Let's try approaching from this side. Not that we have any problem killing dour hands, but that's not our goal at the moment. Right at the moment, we just want to get some food for the poor little lynx cub. Trap is empty. It's always in the last one you look at. This trap is empty. And that comes double true in an MMO. You get the trap is empty. You get the, because, you know, the people that go, it's always the last place you look. And all the smart asses that go, yes, that's because once you find it, you quit looking. Oh, ha, 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 ha. And usually then you hit them with the trap. But, of course, it's also the very last place you look in an MMO because they always want to drag you on along there, don't you? The track is empty. Lord, that's a long string of traps. Do you see any more? There's one. Are they respawning? Are we just going to run in circles until we find a trap? Till one of them finally catches something? Are we going to have to kill a dour hand? We're going to have to kill a bear. Can we just shoot a rabbit? Seriously, any of them. Alrighty, folks. Let me see if there's any more traps. Anything further up this way? Or am I missing one? Or... oh, another Hinderball. Okay, if there's not one in this one, I'll let you know. We're just going to keep looking. Circling through all these traps until we manage to find one. Alright. And I will see you when we actually come across it. Alright, we have finally collected a rabbit from a trap. We did finally, you see, there's Thrasi's Lodge over there. They are, whoop, hit the wrong button, sorry. You see Thrasi's Lodge right over there. There are a few traps scattered about. Basically, we're off over here right next to the woods. It goes all the way over across the road. Y'all saw us hunting up there. It's up to the north a little bit. Basically, this entire area is just covered with these traps. So it's like, wow. But, yep, finally found one. I don't know if this is the one that you have to find. I don't know. Or if it's just a case where you just keep going until the random number generator finally gives you the thing. The fact that they've made the game so much, it's weird that it works like that. The way they've made the game so much easier and all to complete. I'm willing to think they do actually have to find maybe that particular one, but that would be unusual that they would still have it so that you would go through so many before you could find the one that completes it. That's quite unusual these days. This'll do for now, but we can't keep hand-feeding the things, or they'll lose that wild streak that makes them good hunters.
Come and stay a moment, friend.
Thistle-Mead. Now the mother has a belly full of rabbit, but she still doesn't seem all that fat and sassy. I'm thinking that maybe an old dwarf home remedy might do. I've got plenty of mead, but I'm going to need some of the old secret ingredient. Now it just happens there's sharp thistle plants in the area. I need you to go and collect me some thorns so I can grind them and mix them with the mead. Anyway, there's thistle plants around the woods north of the cabin. All right, collect sharp thistle plants. We will do that. First, I have got a football game I've got to go watch. As in FUTBOE game. My son is down. I was really hoping that I was going to be able to play some Star Wars miniatures with him. We were already looking forward to it. I've got my my Imperial Commander's cap. He had his Jedi robe. We were going to have a good old battle. I was going to open up the miniatures boxes, do an unboxing, and show y'all those, and I'm still going to do that later today. But he has got a horrible case of bronchitis. So he's basically just laying on the sofa, drinking tons of like NyQuil and DayQuil and spraying his throat with Chloraseptic and Mucinex and all. So unfortunately, that game's not going to take place. But I will still do the unboxing later. I was going to call it, and despite my very belated unboxings, it was going to be a just-in-time unboxing, as we were unboxing it just in time for today's game. But anywho, I am not ending this episode here, just letting you know there's going to be a little pause, and then we will travel to the north and see if we can find those thistle plants. So I will rejoin you here after the football game. We will see you then. Alrighty, people, we are back, and I managed to get the games out of the way. Federer won, so that's good. I don't care about tennis, but it made my wife and my son extremely happy. And then Barcelona somehow managed to pull off a last 5-minute goal to equalize against Real Betis and keep from losing, so they were happy about that as well. So a very good morning all in all. Now what we're going to do is we're going to try and collect those sharp thistle plants here. Where were they located? Around the wood north of the lodge. So we need to go this way. That is definitely north. So let's try, I guess, in these woods north of the lodge here. Or back over here toward where we were just killing the Hendrival and all. I got a chance to look at the producer's letter a little while ago that came out along with the update. I didn't realize there was an update Friday, or a patch, or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that was nice to see. Big plans for the coming year. They said in the 10th anniversary celebration coming up, which I will assume will be in April. That's generally where they tend to have their 10th anniversary celebration. That there's going to be some new stuff to, they said, a big event or something to celebrate it. That will be very nice. I'd like to see them do another event along the lines of, if you remember when a lot of Angmar opened up, and they did the whole thing with the collecting the lore in order to get the upper parts, collecting the lore in there against Amarthiel, to take the fight to Amarthiel whenever they eventually opened up the other part of Angmar and all. And if you remember, the same thing with when the Eregion came into the game. If you remember, we were collecting ring lore, collecting shards of ring lore, and we had to collect a bunch of the ring lore to get to a certain point before the expansion went live. And then you had that as well on. Let's take a look at our thing here. Sharp thistle plants, a thistle plant native to arid Luine. And then you had the... Okay, why am I not moving again? There we go. Then you had the situation with them saying that the next, we're moving into Mordor next. The next couple of expansions, the next couple of things will be going into Mordor, and that Mordor will be the first expansion for the game in 4 years. Which makes it sound like it's a paid content. It makes it sound like it's going to be a paid for content like Moria, or what was the last one? They said it had been 4 years. Was it Riders of Rohan? I think Riders of Rohan was the last paid for event, paid for expansion that came out. So that's what that's sounding like. That's what it sounds like. I won't say it's going to be that, but them saying that it's going to be the first actual expansion in 4 years is interesting. And that is going to bring, they said, a bunch of exploration of Mordor, some new mechanics, and they're also talking about, bringing in high elves to go with all the Sindarin elves that we have here, bringing some of the Noldor. So that'll be interesting. Anyway, let's talk to Thrasi here.
Greetings, traveler.
Excellent. It won't take too long to brew this draft.
Greetings, traveler. Will you stay a moment?
All right, here you go. Try feeding some of the Thistle-Mead to the mother lynx. No sneaking sips for yourself, mind you. Feed the Thistle-Mead to the mother lynx. We can do that. The mother lynx sniffs tentatively at the fragrant mead, then quickly laps it all up. And there she goes. Wow. That will be even funnier in context soon. Ooh, look at her take out that Hinderval. Hell yeah. Nice, nice. Says Thrasi says, good job, girl. That's a good girl. Wow. Oh, we had played a game of Epic Spell Wars last night, me and Mindfiend and Dwindon. And, yeah, I'm going to post the first episode of that here later after I get this up. And, yeah, that wow will make a little bit more, meaning then. Let's talk to Thrasi again.
At your service.
On the men. See? Thistle-Mead. Good for what ails you. If you're a cat, that is. She seems to like me. Doesn't want to run off anyway. I could use a hunting partner, and her cub's taking a shine to me as well. Thanks for all your help, friend. In a few years, this cub will be old enough to join me on hunts with his mother. Hinderval, beware. All right, do we choose one? Nope, we get both of them. And that has completed Thrasi. All right, we are going to call that an episode there. I wish it were still snowing, but oh well. I guess if I want to see snow, I'll have to head over to the Misty Mountains. Actually, before I say goodbye, we were going to take a look at this deed. This deed we completed, didn't we? We got the SLOTRO points we guaranteed. The title awarded of Feather Foe. Unlike the noble eagles, the crooked Hinderval are used as spies for the Dark Masters across many lands, Arid Luine included. So the deed was completed where we had to defeat 20 Hinderval, and the deed is bestowed, the advanced. And that one, we need to complete 40. We're going to have to kill 40 Hinderval. And we'll get 10 SLOTRO points, a bunch of marks, 1 point of discipline, and some more reputation with Thorin's Hall. So anyway, hope y'all have enjoyed the episode. I will be getting another Gnarlo episode up later today as I work on him. Like I said, I've got a Epic Spell Wars to put up. I'm busy churning through all our portal stuff, and I've still got to finish up the last game we played of Zombicide. So there's a lot of stuff that should be coming up today. Just at this point, I've just got to think about which one I'm going to work on next. So we will see you next time. Thanks for coming along, and as always, I appreciate your viewing. Bye-bye.